Hello, this is Fabien from Suntrip Records here. I'm at Jannis Filteria studio today to see how it goes with the finalization of his new K.O.B album. And we decided to make a small interview here. So Jannis, hello.
Hello.
We are at your place finally.
Yeah.
People get to know your place. And
It looks really tiny now, I guess, from the camera view.
we're in the corner of your living room.
In the corner of the room, yeah.
And can you introduce yourself to the people who might not have seen you already?
Yeah, my name is Jannis. I have a project called Filteria and a side project called K.O.B, which will have an album release soon. And we're finalizing stuff with mixing and choosing the tracks and yeah, chilling out.
Okay, can you tell us more about your daily life? So, like, where are you located first?
In Stockholm, central Stockholm, and my daily life. Well, it's rather normal, I would say. I have another job on the side as well, working with my family, and otherwise I just sit here, play some video games, watching some movies, and go to the studio to make some music. And in the weekends there's some gigs or chilling with friends or whatever.
Okay, how did you come to Goa Trance in the first place?
Actually, I didn't know what Goa Trance or trance music was in general. It was just I went to a CD shop and I saw this. Actually, I was really tired of everyone having the same music. Back then, I was 12, 13, whatever, and in class everyone was listening to what was big then. It was Eurodisco music. So I was tired of everyone having the same CDs all over. So I just went to the shop and saw Distance to Goa 4, and so I just liked the cover and I just bought it. And when I came home and listened to it, I was really amazed by the music. It was mystical. It was different. It was
So you drew some of your influences from there.
Obviously I did, and yeah, just kept on buying more CDs, and I was always interested in music, and I would like to do music myself, but that was like the point when I really decided to go and buy some synths and stuff.
You also told me, because we've known each other for 15 years now,
Yeah.
you told me also that you were a fan of other kinds of music, and it also had a big impact on you from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Are you willing to talk about it?
Yeah, sure, why not? So we used to have back when I was like 3 or 4 years old, we used to have a VHS recorded with lots of videos from the 80s with like disco music, and I would watch that tape day in and day out. So whenever my parents were going out to shop, for grocery shopping, they would say, "You want to come or you want to stay at home?" And I was always like, "No, I'd rather stay at home than watch this video yet again." And there was also this kind of, not really a festival, but this party. They were airing it in Germany, and we had it recorded. It's like lots of bands playing one track each, clearly playback and everything, but it was a cool thing. You had Depeche Mode and all kinds of bands from the 80s playing there. So it was I think that helped to shape the music interest.
And
quite
who
much.
had the biggest impact amongst the Goa producers? Well, maybe those uh, who made you start with making music.
I would have to mention three of them, and it would be Ethnica Pleiadians, of course. That my sound is still to this day is influenced by, and trance wave and astral projection. These three are the ones that made me say, like, okay, I want to make music, because yeah, it took me to places,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make people to go to places with my music. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe for the youngest of those watching us, when I was in Boom and talked in a discussion panel, I explained people that it took easily 10 years to achieve something and be good at something, and you never had to give up, and there was always room for improvement. Can you tell us when you started making music? Actually, people think it was just before Sky Input in 2004, 13 years ago, but actually, when was it?
no, actually, I started in around '97. First of all, the first synth I bought was a Yamaha CS1X, and it wasn't fun at all because I wanted to make the filters to self oscillate, and so I couldn't do any of that. So I remember I traded it in for a Roland JP 8000, and so I had no clue whatsoever about anything, but it was just interest and nothing else, and hard work. And so I never managed to connect it with MIDI to the freaking computer, and so I started together with a friend of mine to do music on Fast Tracker, and we were recording sounds from the synth and integrate them with samples from we could find wherever, and the internet was not around the same. It's not the same as it was today, where you can find all sorts of information and tutorials. It was just, trial and error and trial and error, and the work and work and work. And in the meantime, I was buying just new equipment because I thought it was fun, but I never managed to connect anything to the computer. And so in the end, I think around 2003, I probably had like 12 synths or something, still not able to make music, just technical difficulties all the time. So I went to a shop and told them, look, I will buy a Mac here from you guys, but I want you to set up, I have the following synths, you will do the ports, you will just write me on a piece of paper what goes where. And they said, okay, sure, no problem. And so I got home with a computer. I just did as it said on the paper, and then all of a sudden I realized so many things. When you have the right answers, it's so easy then to understand certain things. And so from that point, that was in 2003. From that point, it was 1 year until Sky Input was done and finished. Because during all these years, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I've made so many, not sample packs, but like designed so many sounds within all the synths that it was actually, and written melodies and stuff. And so it was just to do the tracks, and it was so easy, and it was such a relief.
So you started when you were 14, basically.
Yeah.
And it took you 7 years to make
to connect the studio.
Satisfying tracks. No, satisfying tracks. The first time you sent me stuff, you started to be quite happy with it. Was probably in the very end of 2002, and then complete tracks with the start and a finish 1 year later. So it took you 8 years before you released your first album. Did you have an idea of what you wanted to convey with the music by then? Or was it just pure energy flowing through the scenes?
No, for me it was just to do music. Seriously, I wanted people to feel something, not just boom boom. Not it's just not for. It's for music, but I want people to feel something, besides just dancing, to be happy or something. I don't know. And yeah, I think it's like I said before. I wanted to that people get touched by music just like I was before, and I can't explain why there were so many layers and why the music was so and still is so maximal. But I think it's also I don't know. I just enjoy music that has a lot of power in it.
Okay. And so, I remember in very beginning you got a few gigs in Stockholm, right? But after that, when did it really start?
Yeah, in the beginning it was almost nothing, but I didn't care at all, because to me it wasn't about gigs. First, it was for me to make music because I wanted to make music. Second, to get some people to listen and maybe make some people happy with
Yeah.
with the music. And then gigs started to come in, and for every gig, because I was just working with MIDI, no audio files, no recordings. It was just live to 2-track. You make one track in full in MIDI, you record it, and you have one version, and then you just switch some melodies and switch some sounds hardware wise, or tweak them a bit differently, and you had a second version. So for each live I was doing different versions. I don't know, from, you remember as well, for every party there was a new version of Stars, a new version of Snuggling Snail, of Operation Pulse. I don't know how many there are now.
I
20
think
versions.
there's 9 versions of Stars.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then-
And Operation Pulse I redid for the ZNA live, and the same with Snuggling Snail. There's probably 7, 8, 9 versions of it, and so on and so on.
So did you have a good response from the crowd? Because by then it was there was full on music played everywhere. So you
Yeah.
were completely an outcast from there. So how did the public respond to that?
Actually, most of the time they responded really good. Sometimes in the beginning of the first track, it took some time for people to get used to the different sound, but usually after 10-15 minutes it was alright. And in some parties it was mayhem on the dance floor, so it worked well, and that is probably some videos that got me booked further. I think that some videos you took helped a lot with that.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it.
There were some stories you told me about people dropping on the floor, rolling on the floor, and tearing their dreads off and stuff like that. But
Yeah, it's been some fun
okay.
things to see on the dance floor.
And fast forward, just before this interview started, we were watching photos from the Unity Purim Festival in Israel, where you played a few weeks ago.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago. Something like that.
What is it? As things changed between the public and you, between the crowd and you, how is it now?
I'm more known than I was 12 years ago. I've had the opportunity to play almost all over the world. I'm criticizing my music as much as I did before, if not even more, because you want to improve all the time. And but the main thing is the same. Is you play in front of people and you want them to dance, and usually in Israel things go very well there, and the audience there is amazing. I don't think there is any place like that in the world. Maybe in Belgium, where people also can get really ecstatic on the dance floor, and it's fun to see.
Okay, you had also very good experiences in Japan, right?
Yeah, Japan has been also quite something, and Japan is like the full experience. It's not just the part, but just walking around in Shibuya, and just seeing people and seeing stuff there. It's so different from any other country I've been to, at least. So I truly enjoy walking around in Tokyo, and go synth buying, some impulse synth buying every now and then. In
Okay.
Japan is a good thing to do, to come back to the studio with new equipment, and yeah.
And what do you think about those very big festivals like the Boom Festival?
Oh, I love it a lot. I've been lucky and fortunate to play there a few times, and it's been great every time, and it's not just you know, it's fuel for me. It's inspiration to continue. You know, it's working alone in the studio is not always, yeah, this is great, and sometimes you have your dips, musically speaking, and you wonder if there's someone who even want to hear this music anymore. Maybe I'm done with this, maybe I'm done with that. And then you play in such a party, or like in the Doof festival, in once again in Israel, which was out of this world, and you come back as a new person after that.
Okay.
And you can just go back to the studio and make 5 new tracks, and it's all thanks to an audience that gave you so much love and everything for an hour, and it's enough. It's fuel, it's happiness for normal life as well. Like when I have a good gig, I can feel happy for 5 months ahead if it's something that extraordinary.
Yeah, people don't realize that artists don't usually spend so much time on Facebook. I arrived yesterday morning and I saw you working like a caveman during. You worked like twice 7 hours during this weekend. It was sunny even outside, and yet you worked. So it's a real work. It's
when
it's tedious stuff.
When it's time to finalize an album, it's just close yourself in the studio and just work, and it will be, I would say, all the time so far it was worth it. And I hope it will be it again this time, like with all the work behind the albums. But usually when the albums come out, people are happy, and so I am happy, and I enjoy sitting in the studio a lot. I wouldn't change it for the world, to be honest. So.
All right, so maybe it's time we shift towards your K.O.B. Side project. So maybe along the years, you have already released 4 Filteria albums.
Yeah.
Is K.O.B. for you a way to change things, to escape a formula, or is it really a different view on the music? How do you feel like it?
From the beginning, I think I just wanted to make a different track than the usual, and everyone was always like, if you saw a track by Filteria, you would know there would be pretty
intense climaxes.
Intense climaxes and lots of melodies and all that stuff. So I did the Weight of Oblivion. If you remember, you released it on
Twist Dreams.
Twist Dreams, exactly. But the first version wasn't exactly like that. It was just maybe more psy-trance-ish or whatever. And so it was just where I could do something else, something different. And then I remember I told myself, yeah, sure, why not make an album with this? But so far, from the tracks that were released under the K.O.B. moniker, it never got almost no attention, and people never really liked those early tracks. And so one time when I played in Belgium, I think I played as a K.O.B., and I remember I was like, this music is weird. It's too weird for anything and everyone. So those tracks just stayed in my hard drive, and I said, no, I'm not going to do this. And so after Lost in the Wild, I felt...
In 2013?
In 2013, I felt like, ooh, where do we go from here now? And so I remember I bought some new equipment and said, okay, so let's try that again.
So for everyone to understand, you started the K.O.B. project back in 2006 or 7?
Probably,
because we released Twist Dreams in 2007, yeah. and you played a few times K.O.B. live, I remember, in 2009, and since then a few times.
And in Switzerland I played, I think, one time.
Okay.
And lately as well I played, because I did these tracks. I was working quite much on them last year, And then I don't know why when I played it, when I played the early versions of the tracks, I wasn't happy at all, and I said, man, maybe it's time to drop it again. And then I said, but come on, I've spent so much time on it, it can become something good out of this. And so back to the old drawing board. And
So pretty much like Filteria, where it took 7 years to get
yeah,
get the clear picture. It's pretty much the same here when you think about it. It's it took you years to shape the sound to what it is today, and you're about to release the album. So are you satisfied now?
I will be ready in 1 or 2 weeks from now, and I think I will be very satisfied in the end. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm quite positive about it.
All the years and the hours you that you spent in your studio working on Filteria tracks, and maybe I know you swapped equipment and changed equipment and evolved. Was it just to get out of your comfort zone, or was it a way for you to discover new areas where you could
I think I'm just
show some music?
First of all, I think it's good to change equipment every now and then, because it will help you to renew somehow the sound, and always try to become better at what you do. And so one area I was lacking very much was the production part. So I changed my old Mackie mixer to an SSL mixer for Lost in the Wild, and I was happy. People said, wow, it sounds so much better than the previous stuff in the production department. And music wise, you can think whatever you like about each album. That's taste. So you can new equipment and techniques can help you to achieve a better, clearer sound, or whatever you want to achieve.
And is a K.O.B the result of all those years of maturing your sound?
Probably yes. I mean, it's hard to is regress the word, to go back
Yeah,
to like that, to regress in quality. It's a hard thing. If you want to sound 95 again, and we are in 2016, and you have been working with something for 20 years, it's hard to get back to that dusty sound.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
When you learn to perfect something, it's, when I say perfect, I don't mean it to be perfect, but when you learn a craft, then it's hard to accept, like, okay, I can do this, but I'd rather have it to sound like it was dusty back then.
Mm.
You know, some people, I think I heard that the Liam from Prodigy, like he uses the Mackie. He has a Neve which costs like 800,000 euros, and then in the end they put them through the Mackie to make it sound a bit grittier or dirtier. And that I can understand, but to produce it in a bad way just to sound it old, I don't know if it makes any sense.
How does K.O.B sound? Do you want it to be really worlds apart with Filteria, or are you experiencing new production technique? I'm not talking about production in terms of cleanliness of the sound, just music making techniques. Are you experimenting new stuff? Is it different from Filteria?
Actually, I think I dare to do weirder stuff. I did maybe some on the album Lost in the Wild. On the 36th of February, this track, there was some really mayhem sounds in the middle of the track, and so K.O.B has lots of that, and I just patch cables through the left and right with modules to create all sorts of weird sounds, and it's not all, it wouldn't fit in the melodic harmonica tent of Filteria the same way, probably, but different techniques. I don't know, I think I'm producing the same way. It's just that I don't see any boundaries the same way maybe as the Filteria music, that it should be melodic somehow and all that.
How would you qualify K.O.B? Is it Goa Trance still or not?
I think we should leave that one to the audience to say. I still think it's old schoolish. It's old school in a way with the modern production. Maybe it's like old psy-trance with the new. I don't even know anymore. How can you categorize this? It has a bit influence from the Australian scene, I would say. Something like that, maybe from the psy harmonics. Maybe I don't know. Some of the stuff is weird in there,
Okay.
and we have some Scandinavian forced stuff even inside. With the versus track I did with David from Battle of the Future Buddhas.
Okay, which will be feature in the album.
Yeah, it's the closer of the album.
From the beginning, you have been pretty much of a lone producer.
Yeah,
Have you enjoyed working with David of the Battle Buddhas?
yeah, it was fun. It was good fun actually. You learn from each other. I learned that you can portamento the sound as much, so it sounds totally out of tune, and still it's alright. You will hear on the last track on the album.
Yep.
It's pretty insane.
And have you enjoyed working with other people recently? I heard you made a track with Maor of Schizologic.
Yeah, I was in his studio in Israel, and we did a tune together, and it was good fun. You learn from one another, and I like it when you can hear clearly both people participate in the track. Not, sometimes there is like a versus track between people, and it sounds like just one of the guys. Yeah, I think we got a good balance between both. So yeah, it was good fun.
Will you do it again?
Yeah, actually, we spoke about doing one more because we had good fun, and so probably the next time I go to Israel, I will go again to the studio to work a bit.
Okay. And it makes me think about something. On our 10 Spins Around the Sun compilation, you remixed Power Source track.
Yeah.
So you've also been doing some remixing recently. Is it also enjoyable?
Yeah, it is. It's just that lately I've been doing maybe too many remixes, so I'm going to take a small break from remixing. But yeah, it's been fun. It's fun to work with other people's music, for sure.
And you met Shahaf from Power Source at an All This Gold party
Yeah,
a long time ago. That's where he handed you the files of the file of the track you remixed.
Yeah, we met there in Belgium in 2009 on the Oldest Gold 5, where you took a very good video, by the way. That
Hanging to the scaffolding like that.
yeah, that you helped to promote the sound of Filteria quite much. I think after that video is when things also started to turn quite much.
And soon you're going to return to Belgium for another All This Gold. All
Yeah,
This Gold 20 this time.
20. So,
Yeah.
so they made another 15.
Hello Zion, hello All This Gold.
Hello, guys.
And so the loop is closed now. You're going back to Belgium, one of your favorite countries, where you will obviously showcase the K.O.B album on May 13, right?
Yes, and hopefully it will be the usual mayhem on the dance floor, and yeah, I always enjoy playing there, and even more to an old schoolish crowd.
If you want to hear the K.O.B album as a premiere, don't hesitate to come to All This Gold 20 on May 13. And okay, we're pretty much at the end of it now. Do you have anything to add, to say to someone?
I think I would like to thank everyone for all the love I've been getting through the years, and yeah, it's been quite a ride. It's 12 years, or maybe even more. I think I'm losing count here, and it's better than ever for me, and so I'm really grateful. And yeah, to see people dance and to travel the world is quite an experience, I must say, and I'm very happy for these choices that I've made. Yeah, it's been quite a lot of effort, but it's worth every second of time spent, and so just I'm just eternally grateful, really.
Okay. So thank you for that, and
Thank you.
it's time to go to bed. And because you have a tough week ahead
Yeah,
to finish.
to finalize the album, all the last touches, and to send to mastering after that,
Yeah, Team Shoot is ready now.
and then it's off my hands, and I cannot do any more anything more about it, and hopefully the people will like it. And one thing we haven't said, I believe, the album title is Identity Mash, and don't ask me what it means. I don't think no one knows. Maybe it's mashed between the two projects, something in between. I have no idea, but
But I from the titles I saw, it revolves around mental diseases.
not just mental diseases, I would say, but it's very psychological titles, I would say, and yeah, even the sample in the beginning, it's about signing in somewhere, and everyone can decide to where it is, but
Yeah, some mental institution.
yeah, or
something.
some I don't know.
Okay.
It was just a fun idea I had. So
Okay. Would it be okay to showcase one of the album's tracks in the end?
sure,
Okay.
do
And-
it.
And to reassure your longtime fans, are you going to keep on making Filteria music as well?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
that's
will.
a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's not. I'm not done yet. I think I can pull one more.
Okay, so K.O.B 2017 and then Filteria 5 whenever it's ready.
Maybe 2019, maybe 18. Who knows?
Okay,
But not 2017. That is for sure. So
you're drained now.
yeah, I will need just a bit of space from the music for a month maybe or so, and then it's always nice to go back with new ears and hopefully new ideas.
And just after the festival season, and so.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. But now I will go back to playing PlayStation, I think.
So, okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Commonly, we feel like it's folie à deux, and essentially it means madness in 2PE. And so psychologically, there's sort say psychologically, there's sort of